they have to destroy you. They have to turn those lights back off. Because when you come in, the lights get turned on, whether you like it or not. You have something inside of you. And you might even try to go back to some of these dark places, and they know you're different. They could smell it on you. You are different. No, we're all buddies from back in the day. You're different, buddy. You're different, man. You know, they'd always tell me, you know, we want Dolph back. They'd call me Dolph back then. Randolph, they call me Dolph. We want Dolph back. What happened to Dolph? He's gone, man. He's dead. Thank God he's dead. Wow. But what about, let's look now at righteousness manifested. Turn over to Romans 3:21. And in Romans 3:21 it says, "But now the righteousness of God," that's what we're talking about, "without the law is manifested, being witness," how? By the law and the prophets. Poor Paul didn't realize that only the original writings were inspired. Poor Paul. He's got a lot to learn. But we can teach him. You know, I mean, I got 3 years of Greek. I got 4 years of Hebrew. I could teach Paul himself, Paul the Apostle of all people. Man, if he had a brain like mine, Paul would have went so much further. Paul would have had, certificates. He would have had alphabet soup behind his name. He would have known what it is to be, just like in the Holy of Holies, like I always am.
Come on.
You know, and then you ask this same guy, you know, can you recite the Greek alphabet right now? No. Can you sing Happy Birthday in Koine Greek? No. Well, aren't those the first two things you learn when you're learning a language normally? You know? Feliz cumpleaños, right? Right? But this is what they think. So, but look at this. It says, "But now the righteousness of God without the law is manifested." That means God chooses yet another avenue other than you to manifest or make known His righteousness. And He calls it the law and the prophets. Now, the law and the prophets, as far as I know, that's something that's been written down on a tangible, testable, readable document. Look at Psalm 119, verse 21. Psalm's in the middle. You want to read it for me, brother?
I have done judgment and justice. Leave me not to mine oppressors.
Psalm 119. 119, verse 21.
I'm on 121, excuse me.
Oh, it's okay.
Thou hast rebuked the proud that are cursed, which do err from thy commandments.
Look at that. Thou hast rebuked the proud that are cursed. How'd they get there? Which do err from thy commandments. They got a problem with these things that are written down. They got a problem with them. They're erring from them. They're like, you know what? I know the Bible says this, but I'm going to do this. I know it would be right and correct, and my parents and grandparents probably told me to do this, but I'm going to do this. What did they get because of that? They got cursed. Rebellion is as a sin of what? Witchcraft. Wow. You get a real curse. Like we're talking like exorcism, Rosemary's Baby, like a real curse. You are cursed, bro. Wow. Why? Because you err from the commandments. You want to do it your way. Another condemning fact about the righteousness of God is a number of Bible rejectors that have been documented losing their voices. Look at Luke 1:20. Luke chapter 1 and verse 20. And this means Christian or not, by the way. Christian or not. You want to reject His word? You'll be cursed. Luke 1:20, and behold, thou shalt be dumb and not able to speak until the day that these things shall be performed, because thou believest not my words. Wow. So, let me list you out a few. Kenneth Taylor of the Living Bible. Anybody ever heard of the Living Bible? Yeah. Kenneth Taylor lost his voice. Who else? Philip Schaff of the NASB lost his voice. I don't know if it's two F's there. Of the NA, New American Standard Version, lost his voice. Don Wilkins, which we're going to come back to in a moment. Don Wilkins, also of the New American Standard Version, lost his voice. Wicked man by the name of Tregelles lost his voice. He was a supporter of the Westcott and Hort Greek texts. Westcott himself lost his voice. Eugene Peterson of the Bible called The Message. Anyone ever heard of that? Lost his voice. Then another man by the name of J.B. Phillips. Probably spelling all these wrong. And he wrote the New Testament in modern English. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 individuals who were involved in correcting the Bible, making a Bible for profit, or if you actually want to look at what Westcott and Hort did it for, they did it for beer money. Sorry. They did it for beer money. They did it for profit. And, you know, us KJV believers, we say it all the time, and we probably don't say it enough. There is no copyright on the King James text. Amen. You can legally print a King James Bible in your garage and be completely A-OK with the law. You cannot do that with the New American Standard Bible. You cannot do that with the Message. You cannot do that with the New Testament in modern English. They're all copywritten. What is? The notes? No, the text. They copyright. They own it. They get proceeds off of it. You can look at the people that own the New King James Bible. You start looking at Rupert Murdoch and all the wicked things of that. These are some wicked, cursed individuals. And God puts His little stamp on them by taking their voice. All right. If you haven't seen this bomb, this is New Age Bible versions, but this is the updated one. So in the 90s, this book lit the scene on fire because a woman wrote it. And this thing, she updated it recently, and I think it was probably about a couple years ago. We got the Families in the Church one. But I just want to read you specifically about Don Wilkins, New American Standard Version. All right, let me find where we're at here. Here it is. Bear with me here. Let me make sure I'm at the right place. Here it is. Often, I can't read this word, diminution of speech is slow, yet progressive. New American Standard Bible translator Don Wilkins may have experienced a warning when he temporarily lost his voice on a television program. When asked, this is the question he was asked, do New Version translators lose their voices? He lost his voice right then and there. John Ankerberg, host of the televised John Ankerberg Show, called and asked if I, Gail Riplinger, the author of the book, would be a guest on his show along with the chief editors and translators of the new versions. Kenneth Barker, who's from the NIV, NASB, Arthur Farstad from the New King James, Don Wilkins of the New American Standard, Daniel Wallace of the New English Translation, and James White, a New Version proponent who sports a big tattoo. New Age Bible versions had caused no small stir, this book, and the translators wanted to stop it. I agreed to be on the program with them, giving as my only stipulations that exchanges would be timed, so that I was not unfairly given less time, and that I would be able to set up my own recording equipment in addition to his, because these people have a habit of cutting and pasting. They flatly refused to debate me, and soon cajoled several other King James Bible proponents to agree to an untimed free-for-all where the New Version editors were given free rein to speak most of the time and interrupt any solid responses by the KJV proponents. So she says, I fasted for 3 days prior to the taping of these programs, praying that the Lord would prevail, and more specifically, that a New Version editor would lose his ability to speak, as other New Version editors had. And I had documented in the New Age Bible version. So she had already documented these folks. This is the updated one. So in the original one, Don Wilkins didn't make it in there. It hadn't happened yet. That's why it's in this one. Lo and behold, when the cameras were rolling, Ankerberg asked Don Wilkinson, a NASB translator, what he had thought of my claim that translators had lost their ability to speak. Wilkins could not speak to answer. Ankerberg immediately called for the film to be stopped and backed up, expunging the shocking incident forever, to the strong objections of the KJV proponents, witnessing the marked intervention of God. Wilkins' silent scribe syndrome was temporary, a warning perhaps. 8 programs totaling 3 hours and 45 minutes were filmed in the exchanges between the New Version editors and the KJV proponents, but most of the TV programs were not aired. Ankerberg's minor TV outlet dropped him entirely after the first 2 of these anti-KJV programs, due to the public outcry rising from the fact that 6 New Version proponents spoke